something called functional depression that I talk a lot about. And functional depression is simply, if you don't know about it, it's everything in your life is good outside, but inside you feel like something is missing. And it's probably about 85% of people right now, millions of people that's dealing with functional depression. They handle home, they handle work, they handle business, but they still feel like everything is missing.
Trent.
And it's because they keep going. It's because, and I'm gonna say this, and I might get looked at sideways, it's because they're mentally tough. And for me, mental toughness is not always what we show. Like mental toughness is not running through a brick wall. Like sometimes that might be necessary, but also mentally tough is saying, you know what? I don't need to run through that brick wall because it's gonna hurt me. And I think for as men, if we can share this, I think as men, there's so much on our plate. We gotta handle everything. We have to be strong. And what I realized, it's about being mentally smart and not always mentally tough. Mentally tough for me is being able to take a break. It's being able to say, you know what? Today, if I keep going, I know I'm gonna burn out. I'm not gonna burn out. To me, that's mental toughness.
Hold up.
Yo, shout out to the pivot. I love when Ryan doesn't speak. Shout out to Trent.
Shots early. Shots real
I
early.
actually like Ryan, but shout out to Trent, man. That was, I was listening to that. Shout out, Mimi sent that to me, and I thought that was dope. And then, you know what? It reminds me of our conversation 2 weeks ago when it was like, I had to learn to start saying no to people, like family, to friends, to clients. I had a client, I'll give you a perfect example. I had a client, I'm gonna say 2 weeks ago, even though this happened last week. Just in case she hear this part. But it was funny. She hit me up and she wanted me to do so much with her booking. And why I'm getting paid for this and why she's my client and why I try to create an exceptional experience for somebody. I had to look at sis and I had to write her back and I said, humbly, no, I'm not doing none of that.
Yeah.
I'm not doing all this with your billing. I'm not doing all this delivering your photos because honestly, now I don't want to get that narrative out there of me that I will do anything that you ask him to do. And nothing she was asking me to do was, A, it didn't benefit me. B, it wasn't going to change her experience. It just made it easier for her to do some side dirt that she needed to do. And for me, I was just like, nah, sis, I'm not doing this. I'm not. And I had to, if you would have caught me, 36 now, you would have caught me when I was 23 taking pictures doing this, it wouldn't have happened. I would have did exactly what you wanted me to do. You could get me to show up to your house and do pictures for $20 a person. You could get me hours outside in July. Probably when my skin be burnt out now. You know what I'm saying? Like you could get me to do that, but I had to learn to say no. And it was funny. I was telling a guy this past week, I was like, I remember when JK, who's older than me, he's been married longer than me. I remember he sat me down and was like, yo, I want you to spend as much time as with your kid as you can because you'll never get these memories back from 2 to 3, from 1 to 2, from him being a newborn to him when he walking. He was like, don't run through this wall trying to take every photo shoot you could take. Like spend it with your family and spend it with your friends and spend it with your kid. So he was like, and then once they get old enough, you could do any shoot you want to after that.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, sometimes it's about being mentally smart versus tough.
Yeah, I mean, I always going to be on the side of men should be mentally tough. Right? I'm never going to be on this, I don't know, woe is me, situation. Because to me, right, I think that part of masculinity is, people have to rely on you. And when people are relying on you as a man, they're bringing something to you, right? So when they bring something to you, they've already reached the top of whatever they can do, right? So you're literally starting where they can't do no more, right? And it's your job to finish the job. So I'm always for men, understanding that, sometimes it's tough and that's part of the job, right? But the second part of that is, it's like, hell, once you have that accomplishment, we should celebrate it, right? So you could take that respite and be like, all right, I did it. I accomplished it. That was great. Let me take a break. And to your point, right? Being able to say no. But, that pushing through, I mean, I see a lot of people struggle with that push through. And I think part of it is societal. I think we do have a society of very weak men now, like men that aren't leaders anymore. I mean, we're going to get to, the Cam Newton, K. Michelle, conversation. And I think we've been kind of pushed towards that. We've been kind of pushed towards that. Well, you don't get to decide. We're going to decide together. And it's like, it never works that way because when push comes to shove, when something needs to get done, everybody's looking and saying, hey, I need you to do it now. I need you to step up.
Yeah. But you know what's tough for me is like, bro, I didn't see too many men, especially before me, be burnt out and die at 60 because they wanted to be tough, mentally tough.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's like
but that's burning yourself out, right? It goes back to the point of taking that break. But also, when we take that break, right, part of what we do not receive in this country as men, especially black men, is there is no celebration of you. Of whatever you accomplish, right? I'm not talking about a birthday party or a Father's Day card. I'm talking about somebody genuinely being like, oh my God, we're so glad that you were here to do this. Without it, it doesn't happen. You need to sit down and take a break. Because part of me taking a break isn't me withdrawing. Part of me taking a break is me being able to be around people that love me, and they let me take a break.
Yeah.
They let me sit down and say, hey, don't bother him.
Yeah, and so the only thing with your point, and I not that I disagree with it, I just find it interesting. Like sometimes people will get to you, and part of, like you said, part of masculinity is in being able to lean on you because they reach their max. A lot of times you dealing with people who ain't even tried, and they just like, you know what, my dad can do this. You know what, my brother could do this. You know what, my man could do this. It's no need of me. Even I don't need to because I know he could do this, so I'm gonna just let him do it.
And part of that burnout is because we've allowed it to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you like, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z now, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's so I can have the conversation. I remember like I'm way older than my siblings. Mm-hmm. And at the time I was doing real well in life. They were young. And I remember stressing to them that like, hey, I cover a lot of stuff, but y'all gotta get your ish together. You know what I'm saying? Because what it takes for me to do this, I can't do this forever.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like part of leadership is saying, hey, I'm going to take care of us, but I can't do this forever. I can't work third shift for 20 years, right? I can't work 60 hours for 30 years, right? Yeah. So a lot of times it's like, yo, I'm providing everything, but I got to make sure that my family understand that, you know, look, we might need to go with the Chevy over the Beamer.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's going to make life easier so I can still be here for you. Yeah. So to your point, yeah, we saw a lot of our grandfathers get burned out, which I think by and large, it made a lot of men be like, I ain't doing that. Yeah. Right? I think a lot of young men, like, started probably, you know, the bottom of Generation X where I am, through your generation was just like, yeah, man, granddaddy had a heart attack at 63. Yeah. I'm not trying to do that, right? So it's like, absolutely. But part of it was also they never really had that conversation of what leadership looked like because they never told anybody no, right? They never told grandma no. They never told their children no. They never told their mothers no sometime. Yeah. You know, if there was a church organization, if it was a, a club that nobody ever got told no.
No, you're right.
And it burns you out.
It burns you out. Fellas, we got to take care of ourselves. Let's get to it. See
how Pastor Mike Will.
Oh, yeah. I am Gavin B. Welcome to service. Sit down. The Black Dads Club. What the hell is the point of this podcast? Let's do it like that.
If you are a black male and you're in a jam, hit me up. I'll get you out.
Trying to save black men.
We give black men a place to be seen, a place to be heard.
Sometimes I got to push back. Because be lying.
They do, but so do women. So that's what makes the pod cool.
Strap in. It's about to be fun.
Now let's begin.
Yo, I want to welcome everybody to the Black Dads Club. I am your host, Gavin B, a.k.a. I am Gavin B, whatever. This is Pastor Mike Will, who will be live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Depending on how long Ryan has me at his photo shoot, I should be there. I should be on the live. You know, I hate being the person that when I get a booking request, if I can guess your race, I might not allow you to book.
I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can say that. I don't think you say that. Let's move on to the next topic.
You absolutely cannot say that, but every photographer knows exactly what I'm talking about.
But everybody does it, like in life in general, right?
Yeah,
everybody does it in life.
Sadly, in photography, all of us that are not these two groups of people agree not to work with those group of people.
I don't believe. I don't think there's anything wrong with casual racism. I think outright racism is where you have the problem. Yeah. But I think casual racism makes things better. We talked about it in group chat a little bit yesterday. I was like, I kind of want sports to get casual racism back.
Yeah, you know, it's just interesting, dog, because, and I'm going to say about these two groups. They have a lot of things culturally I don't understand.
Yeah.
And so when you do work with them, they have been conditioned to say, hey, if we give you our dollar, we will get more than what that dollar's worth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so as an American, and a lot of times I tell you Americans are lazy.
Yeah.
And they rude, and it's kind of just like, whatever, I don't need you. And as an American, sometimes when that person comes there, I'm like, all right, you've gotten your $1.50 out of this dollar.
Yeah.
Stop trying to push me to $2.25.
Facts.
And it's like, these two groups of people will get you to that $2.25.
Yeah, they're gonna annoy you.
Exactly.
To no end.
And as a person who's worked for probably 5 years under one of these groups, I used to watch them get $2.25 out of the dollar. And it's amazing to watch.
But what you got to do is just add on. Again, you can't say this. You gotta add that. You gotta add that cost in,
bruh. It don't matter because now if you giving them $2, you charging them $2, they gonna be like, I'm getting $5.
No, because then you get it back to the original rate. You know what I'm saying? Like you charge $2, he's like, yo, it's gonna be $4, and then they're like, oh, I want to pay $3, and it's
now
like,
we're
okay.
definitely getting in the laws being broken.
Yeah, absolutely, the laws are being broken.
And the funny part is, I'm reading an email, and this girl, she has been asking me so many questions. That's is on my website. She's wrote me on like 3 different emails.
Yeah.
How did she find 3 of my emails? I don't know. And now she just asked me a question and giving me all these demands, and I'm like, I kind of might just ignore you.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. So, but one thing I will say that when you're in business, especially in business for yourself, anytime somebody asks for something extra, yo, just hit them over the head for it.
Oh yeah, you got to charge them.
Yeah, just hit them over the head. So it's like, look, I'll do this, and this is what I offer, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want more than that, this is what I'm going to need. And that kind of shuts a lot of that down in general. Everything we said for the past 2 minutes were jokes, okay? This is not it's all satire, right? But
I am not working with bleep and bleep. Look, man. Oh my gosh. Anyway, this is episode 184, brought to you by No Grease Barbershop at Northlake Mall and Premium Outlets. I believe it's either this weekend. I think it is this Saturday. They having this Sunday, they having a cookout. Don't quote me on that. Go to their website. They are having a customer appreciation cookout. I may be there depending on how early my shoot's in. Let's get straight to it, man. One of the saddest things to watch is the scandal with Shannon Sharpe being has ruined so many great interviews. And now I have to look at Cam to get some good interviews.
You know what? We haven't seen a good Shannon Sharpe clip since Marlon. Was that Marlon?
Yeah. No, since that scandal broke, all the interviews have been like just, I don't know if...
have they even been dropping?
Mm-hmm. He's done... Well, he did Bobby Brown the week of.
But he's not being
scandal.
pushed, though.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get to. I don't know if Colin and them in volume. Is that the volume?
Yeah, I think he's on volume.
I don't know if they pulling back or what that may look like, but nah, like you sat down. Bobby Brown should have been an amazing interview. Bow Wow should have been a great interview. I think he just did Arnez J, which was
he did.
You know, that was
I did see that last week.
And it's like,
I didn't like the Bow Wow interview. Bow Wow.
I don't like the Bow Wow interview at all. It should have been great, but I don't. Matter of fact, let me put it like this: I don't contribute the bad Bow Wow interview to Bow Wow. That just goes back to my original point of Shannon is a poor.
You do have to ask Bow Wow the right question because Bow Wow will go on a tangent.
And Bow Wow, he will. Also, Bow Wow has shown me that he's goofy, but he makes me sometimes feel like he's still a child star, and it's sad to watch because Bow Wow supposed to be cool.
Yeah.
He was a child star.
Well,
rich.
a lot of people run into that. It's hard to age gracefully type thing. Though.
Yeah, but like, bro, like I watched him at the BET Awards and he smoked that. You know, him, T.I., and I forgot the other rapper that smoked it. And when I say it like that, they wasn't overlaying their raps. They like, no, I'm rapping my song.
Yeah.
I don't need no TV track. I don't need no whatever else they be doing where they basically the lip sync it. No, Bow Wow and T.I. both was like, I'm going to show y'all I still do this. You could tell they still perform.
Yeah.
And Bow Wow did amazing, which made me realize the kids don't understand how dope he is. How dope he was to like my generation, right? But like, it's hard to get past that when you're doing the goofy stuff.
Yeah. And to your point, I mean, him being a child star, like if Bow Wow would have been a rapper at 18, might be like, more substantial. But it's like once you do the kids rap, it's kind of hard to break through. I mean, we've never seen anybody break through.
Nah, you got to start in high school.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because him, Romeo, I mean, shit. How was Lil Wayne when he first started rapping? He had to be in high school.
Yeah, but Lil Wayne was rapping like an adult.
Yeah, high school.
He was 14 rapping like he was 24.
Yeah. I mean, I think about now, you got Lil Tecca, he was in high school. He was literally in the 10th grade rapping, becoming famous, you know. And then I imagine he don't go back to school because senior year, he did a whole mixtape with Lil Wayne and stuff like that don't happen.
Doesn't he play football or something?
Nah, that's the other boy who's about to start playing football. Dog, I forgot his name because he said he gonna go D1. He gonna be the first rapper to go D1. Yeah. Which would be dope. But anyway, the reason why I said all this is because sometimes we end up with interviews with Cam Newton.
Yeah, we definitely went on a little rant right there.
Yeah, and it's necessary. And Cam Newton now is doing a bunch more interviews, and I think they're now getting pushed. Shannon, this might have been a planned attack on you, dog.
It might have been. You know what's crazy is, to your point, right? Push and not being pushed.
Yeah.
The only difference between the great pods and the pods that's not great,
money.
It's the money behind them. That's it. It's
money,
like
the set. Like if we had $1 million right now, the production would get different. The cameras would get different. The setup would get different.
Where would we end up on the podcasting list if we had $1 million behind us right now? Like who would we end up above?
The Pivot.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Like,
yeah, that's easy.
No offense to the Pivot.
No offense to sorry. Brian, I still like you. But like that's getting smoked. We'd probably be in the top at least. Oh, especially when I get to get jokes off and I can be as funny as I want to, probably at least top 40.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
Like they getting smoked. What's my other people? Nice and Neat, smoking y'all boots.
Oh yeah, yeah. That
with what's his name? The dude
I knew you talking about
painting their nails. Smoked.
Yeah.
Boots is smoked.
I think we'd be up there.
Smoked.
I think we'd be at the top.
Smoked.
Like real talk. I don't really think anybody would be better.
Y'all next.
So
we need y'all little cousins out the way.
Shoot us some loot, man. Shoot us some production. We don't need you to shoot us loot. Just put us on the platform and push us.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
And then send the money. Well, we'll go out
there.
We'll
go get the money.
Absolutely. But anyway, here's an amazing clip by K. Michelle.
I'm looking at a successful black man that has the ability to literally turn the narrative on black family. You know? Mm-hmm. And my grandfather, I watched my uncles and everything. My whole family, they're married. I'm not the girl who didn't see what a man creating a black family is supposed to be. So I'm asking right now, black men, and I tell my black men to really step up for black women and create families.
Yeah.
It's really not cool. Black men are attacking black women. And it's not cool. They're not creating homes. We're witnessing city girls. We're witnessing this and that. And it's like the genders are doing this.
Clashing.
It is really destroying families. Being a country singer, if you are a singer in country music, you're a man. If you are not married, it is not respected. Family is respected in country music in that space. But in our space, we are singing about side chicks. We are glorifying a lot of women. That's not what happens in Nashville. You can't call a woman a bitch in Nashville because they'll never even listen to your music. And
whoever set K. Michelle on that side of the couch, congratulations on you. That was smart. It's got to do with her part and how you sit people in lighting. That's all. It's just a whole technical thing. Where you want to start with this?
Well, I mean, that's K. Michelle.
Shout out.
College educated. Actually, Miss FAMU. I don't know a lot of people know that.
She went to FAMU?
Yeah, K. Michelle was actually Miss FAMU.
Shout out to FAMU getting that Trump supporter as the new president. They tore y'all up in the comments, but go ahead.
So a lot of what she's speaking on, she really, really knows. Funny enough, actually know somebody that went to state when she was at FAMU.
Okay.
And they were like, yo, she was really talented, like in real life. They were like, she was like killing every talent show they had down there.
I mean, she can sing.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful
big
singer.
ups to K. Michelle being a normal person that became a super celebrity.
Yeah.
But like people that went down there actually know and say she is as dope as she presents herself to be. So, typically you don't really hear that.
There. Oh, you don't.
Yeah,
but we've always
celebrity.
known. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've always known K. Michelle to be down to earth because I remember before she got popping, before Love and Hip Hop, she used to always do radio interviews in Charlotte. And it was always like, she always presented herself as, I'm the dope, down to earth country chick.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So, and this isn't me bigging her up because I'm about to kick her back in, by the way.
Oh, really? I'm taking her side.
But low key.
I love K. Michelle. I got you.
Low key, part of the problem is like she's like, yo, black men need to come back and do a better job. And I'm gonna say, when you looking at top third of black men, it ain't on them.
Yeah, but if the 66 can do more damage than the...
We've given up, right? I don't think people understand that. Like, there is a tactical retreat that men are saying, I can't do anything in this community. You can't keep asking me to lead. And then every time I show up during election season saying, hey, we need to do this, you're like, shut up, right? Okay. Every time I'm talking about, what we need to do in the schools, you're like, hey, shut up. When I talk about how I need to have access to my children, you're like, no, the moms need to have their children, right? Men that can get out of that environment are going to get out of that environment. It is the environment that we have right now is exactly what she said it is, right? Mm-hmm. But the only option, the only reprieve that women would have, right, is if women themselves would stop having children with the bottom third of black men. That's the only fix.
Well, or the flip side of that is, or the bottom third of black men stop having kids.
Yeah, but I mean, they already are terrible decision makers.
I know. And I mean,
yeah.
That's any community. The bottom third of any community are terrible decision makers. So if we get into that, the bottom third of black women is bad decision makers, bottom third of black men. I like her take because she's right. If black men made up their minds today, hey, we are not, and this is what she's asking. She's not saying, hey, let's segment y'all from top, middle, third, because she's not doing that for them either.
Yeah.
What I like her saying, hey, if y'all decide today we are no longer having children that are not our wives, everything changes in our community. 100%. It changes
with the men that are already disciplined. The undisciplined man is not going to change.
Yeah. But and so I'm not getting on her point on that. I'm getting on her point. I'm sticking on her point.
Her point is salient, right? It's correct. Like, I'm not saying that she's wrong.
So that's why I'm not mad at her.
Yeah. Like, no, like, she's not wrong. Part of the problem in the black community is broken homes. Like, even though we're fathers, we still have broken homes.
Yeah,
absolutely. In our community, right? Even though we father, that is part of the problem. It's destroying our wealth. We've had this conversation. This is a 6-year conversation now.
That's why I love this conversation, because we said this episode 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I stand with her. Yeah. I like it. Unfortunately, though, like, we had this conversation pre-production yesterday. I was like, yo, unfortunately, this is all a planned attack on every side of the fence.
It is. And like she said, right? Country music, you got to be married to be respected. Mm-hmm. In the business world, if we're being honest, you got to be married to be respected. In the church, you got to be married to be respected, right? But when we try to have this conversation in our community, right? It's like, you ain't got to be married. Girl, you be 39 and single and chase your career.
Yes.
Guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, You ain't got to be out here. It's red pill, right? You ain't got to be out here with these women taking your money, taking your resources. Dudes don't want to take care of women anymore, right? Not understanding that, right? When you have the egalitarian situation, it ends up being unbalanced towards a matriarchal, type scenario. So we're not in a place in our community, honestly, where we can have a conversation to say, this, and this will fix our community. It's an easy fix in our community. Stop having babies out of wedlock. Vote at a 90% clip. You do those two things, we probably fix half of our problems in a decade.
Yeah. I that's why I love her part. But like, for me, if men today said, yo, not having no more kids outside of my wife, and let's say it is a black wife, let's even go a step further. What ends up happening is the music automatically changes. You don't get a Planet Sexy Red out here. Yeah. Like, you don't get that, right? You don't get a Planet. Well, he wasn't even Planet. He was just a young boy who decided to murder 2 people and write a song while he on the race. Yeah. Shout out to TK. You know what I'm saying? Who got 100 and something years. You don't get that. You don't get those 2 kids, right? You don't get the reality shows that, unfortunately, this is why I didn't like about what K. Michelle said. And maybe this is all chopped up, by the way, on the TikTok, but K. Michelle is part of the problem. She was a part of an era that I think did my generation in. I have said that because when we was in college, it was cool to be on reality shows showing your ass.
And again, right, we were used.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And I'm saying my generation.
Yeah. Like, we and I say we, I'm talking as black people, we were used, right?
Absolutely.
The degenerate music came through us, right? There, to her point, right? It's not many degenerate country songs calling women bitches.
Yeah,
right.
facts.
But that in our music though, it's a thing, right? Is it not even a thing? It's a theme.
Yeah,
you know, in our music, right? So it's like we're being used, right? And a part of this is because our older generation, our boomer generation, didn't own shit, right?
Yeah,
they got in, they made the money that they could make. They elevated to the top 1%, 5% of the country, and then they sold it off, right?
Yeah.
So all of our influence that we have, we don't own it.
Yeah, but it's even deeper than that. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's the music, it's the reality show that did my generation in. It's the drugs that did your generation in, right? It's the government assistance plus the drugs that did your generation in. And now it's just trickling down. And now we do get to say, hey, we're going to make AI music and let them run wild with it. We're going to let them get content off. You know, my biggest laugh now is OnlyFans trying to sell, right?
Yeah.
And all these people are scared because they like, what happens when this company gets sold to somebody else? You think that they're going to let y'all still own your content?
Yeah, no, you're not going to own your content. They're going to charge more money.
And it's like, you know, it's like, dang.
They're going to change the rules to where they can use your content in perpetuity.
Absolutely.
Right?
And
so
you cooked.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's so much going in. But I wish she could fix it. But that ain't where this all stops because she came at Cam a little bit later. And shout out to Cam. I don't know if you be just sitting there or whatever. Oh, damn, I gotta find out. Thing. This ain't it. This ain't it at all. Hold on. Come on, Mike. Hold us over while I figure this out. Where the hell you put it at? No.
You got to clip all this out in the middle.
Oh, no. If y'all knew, you know, this goes back to the part of The Rock saying how Vince McMahon told him to go see how the backside of the business go. If you knew how much editing it took to clip out 10 seconds, you'd be like, Gavin, don't clip that. I just talk over you next time. Look, and if you don't know that clip, please go listen. It's when Vince McMahon told Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, if you want to raise, go work with the finance department.
Yeah.
And he came back after he told him, he said, it might take you 3 months to understand. Dwayne Johnson said it took him 2 weeks, and he came back and said, I just take your original offer because I understand it. And he said, nah, you actually gonna make $15 million this year instead of $1 million since you understand the business. I promise you, now you've learned enough how to make it. So if y'all knew how much it takes to edit this shit.
Well, but I think the clip you about to pull up is when K. Michelle is speaking to Cam about creating a broken home.
Yeah, I got it.
And we've already.
Well, I mean,
so once I started talking, Gavin now has the clip. So
I had it.
I'm trying.
Oh, we good. Now you can. Okay, here we go.
Do deserve.
Let's start this.
Our children do deserve a 2-parent household. The reality is that's just not how it worked out. Now, the guilt in me feels that
You have a guilt?
when you hear it, there can be a guilt that happens. It's like you create broken homes.
You got a guilt.
I can't do nothing about that now. But what I can do is try to make my wrongs right. Mm-hmm. I do that by showing up constantly. I have certain things that I do with my children specifically that's our thing.
But what about now and having new kids and creating, is that a goal of yours? And you don't have to answer to anybody.
No, ask the question that you're asking.
You want me to ask you a real question?
Please. Go there.
Okay. Well,
Cam just done lean into it.
Mm-hmm.
I did
Big ups on that.
see that your significant other now is having
Another.
Our
children.
Another one. Mm-hmm. Is your goal to create, I think everyone would like to know, is your goal right now to create a 2-parent home for your child that you already have and your new child? Is that the goal? Because you do skate around that. From everything that I've watched, you do kind of skate around that.
We got
Is the goal. What is the ultimate goal right now in your dating and having kids?
Every situation that I've ever been in, I thought this was the last one.
Okay.
So to answer that question, do I plan on moving on after her? No.
Okay.
The plan has always been, even with the first, the second, the third, is nobody goes into a situation and
But
says,
you know you've never said that. Like I've said before, I come somewhere because I was talking about
what
talking
baby
to
mama
you.
Cam on now? Is this a second or a third?
It's got to be his third, and she on her second. Because I think didn't she wear that dumbass tee where it was like third, like she was making jokes at it.
Oh yeah, she was. Yeah.
This is what happened when the baddies sit down in front of y'all and you interviewing them, and they decide to interview you, and you have to give her the space to be like, yeah, ask your question. You know, good. Well, you don't need to be answering none of them questions.
Yeah, but
asking it.
K. Michelle is smart though. He has 3 baby mamas.
Yeah.
Look, what I didn't like what Cam said was you never go in with the intentions, and it's like, no, I'm gonna agree with you. That's true. Mm-hmm. You meet somebody you do not expect to fall out of love. But if you talk to any married couple that's been married for an extended period of time, falling in love over and over again is something that happens.
Facts.
So you have to have that discipline of, one, either I want to be there, or 2, I realize this is not for me, right? And what that affects is the children. The children do not ask to be here, all right? Ask to be here, right? I know y'all be in the comment section. I ask.
They be tearing me up for that. I'm like, yo, leave me alone.
So the kids aren't the ones that are making themselves here. We're bringing the kids here. As a man, you should not want to bring kids into broken homes, right? Even if that broken home is, like in my situation, right? It's a divorce, right? And even when I go back through and be like, all right, could I have stayed? Would I have stayed? What was the right decision to stay, right? And every time I ask myself that question, I'm like, no, I made the right decision, right? But the place where I would have been able to fix that would have been prior to having children, right? Or having a child, right? That's where you fix it. And I think when men make excuses and say, well, of course I didn't plan for that to happen. Well, if you're not with the right type person, you low-key planning for that to happen. And if you're not taking your time to really get to know the person before you decide to have children with them, you kind of planning for that to happen.
Yeah, and I don't like when a lot of the athletes get women pregnant and they still think that woman is going to deal with your BS. Yeah. And I say that to say, everybody know I used to work at a hotel where all the teams play and dudes get their rocks off. And sometimes when your girl she ain't there, y'all ain't got no kids, she might, because of the benefits of being with you, she might excuse certain. Because maybe you do tell her like, yo, we're going to talk about Diddy in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Diddy was very open. What's coming out in this case is that Diddy was very open with telling people, hey, I'm going to mess around. I'm going to do my thing. I mean, for goodness sake, you got Young Miami holding up a sign and the other chick is having your baby. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't heard from her, mentioned her since, right? So we know that type of stuff comes on. But sometimes once you do get that woman pregnant and now she got to start thinking about her baby, a baby that you're not around, let's say the most for, she might say, hey, I'm not willing to put up with this. And sometimes dudes go in there knowing like, yo, all right, she's still going to stick around because I'm paying X, Y, and Z. But I'm sure Cam's financial state now is a lot different from when he was doing the dad.
Yeah. And now, not only is it different, but I mean, how much money are you spending? Like, how much money is going out of your home?
Yes.
When you have 3 different homes that you need to take care of versus one home to take up. I don't care how rich you is. Like, you're going to look at those numbers
and be like, what's going on? My favorite joke is Lou Will said he couldn't afford his 2 girlfriends after he got out the league.
Yeah. It's a thing. So it's like, women want to be taken care of and children have to be taken care of. So, and we have to stop looking at athletes and saying, or just rich men in general, right? Entertainers and athletes, seeing them make these type of decisions and think that it's okay, right?
Facts.
Like one of the terms that everybody loves now is, right, high value man. Cam is a rich man, right? I can't say he's a high value man. I can't say he's a value.
Yeah.
Outside of him just being a great athlete, right? Love watching him play football. Changed how we saw, big athletic quarterbacks. But, there is a lack of discipline here that we have to acknowledge. And we as men should, look, kids happen, right? Like, I have not had any other children. I don't think I have any children before my son.
Golly.
No, I'm just saying, right? Because you say something, and then 20 years later, you're like, where did this come from?
Mark Lamont Hill.
Yeah, right. So I mean, I'm giving caveat. I'm giving grace for what I don't know, but for everything that I do know, it's like there's a practice in order to get here. And like I could slip up. I could mess around and have a kid 9 months from now. Yeah. And it's like, but it's I won't excuse it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I still have to be like, yo, that's a mistake. Like that should not have happened. I am not married to your mother.
And then Mike definitely leaving the pod after that.
No.
Because he not having no kids in this country, so
I'll send money. I'll send money until I can go down there. I'll pull a Cam Newton.
I don't know why.
Knock on wood, man.
Please don't do that to us. The whole pot will be over. Look, man. So certain decisions I make now, I'm like, if this came out, the pod would not do well. This will stop us. This will stop us our ascension right here. So let me not do this.
Yeah,
dumb shit.
I'm with you.
Certain things you just can't do, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not on the board. DDG said, well, speaking of DDG, we could just go to DDG words. And you know what? Before this happened, I was on DDG's side, and then, I explain later what happens. But let's start over. Here we go.
Oh, that's my boy.
Hey, tell Joe Budden if he want me to go on the Joe Budden podcast, I'm with it. Just make sure that lady ain't there.
Shazam.
I'll be on the podcast as long as that. I'm gonna be nice.
Be nice.
As long as that. I ain't even gonna say it. But as long as she ain't there, I would love to come on the show.
I say go, that's mine. I say
We don't want to hear you talk.
He does that for the next 2 minutes. Anytime Melissa's about to speak, he just cuts her off and mutes her and keeps going. He said he's willing to go on the show, but Mel can't be there. Now, for those who do not understand why he said that, Mel had a very interesting take of the short version is they were about to talk about Hallie and DDG, and she said, I'm standing 10 toes down. I don't care about the facts. I'm on her side.
Yeah.
And she stood there. And so it was pushback in the community. I'm not going to lie, because we were recording the day after that podcast dropped. I don't listen to Joe and them's thing because I don't want no overlap.
Yeah.
Y'all already convincing us there's some overlap. We trying to tell y'all it's coming the opposite way. But y'all ain't gonna believe it. So bump it, right?
But they say how you and Joe Budden react pod.
Yeah. And it's like, we drop the day before them every week.
It's a great idea for somebody that don't want to start podding. Podding is rough though, and they are suppressing everything. So good luck.
Yeah.
But a Joe Budden react pod would actually be pretty good.
It would be, but
we're not that.
We're not that. So, but the funny part is they did a Patreon episode, and Mark was questioning Mel about it. And he was trying to explain to Mel, hey, I think you're getting pushback because people didn't like your, hey, I don't care about the facts. I'm 10 toes down.
Yeah.
And
that's absolutely why she was getting.
Yeah, that's the only reason why she was getting roasted. And I think a lot of people, black men have to continues being reminded that, hey, as Mike likes to say, you ain't got no friends.
Yeah, you ain't got no friends.
When it's time to place blame or point the finger, when we list the people who are going to get blamed or have the most support, black men are coming in the last place every single time.
Absolutely.
And Mel just proved that to me. Now, DDG want to go in there. DDG, I'm here to tell you, Joe ain't finna let you come up there.
But I don't know. It would get a ton of views. So Joe may. Now, I will say this. If anybody loves DDG, they'd say, yeah, after court.
Oh,
There's no reason for you to be on any public forum speaking on your son's mother or the situation prior to going to court, right? Because everything can be a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Prior to that. So, but I could definitely see him going in there. I could see Joe actually having, a very high pod, because you're gonna get the women that hate DDG, you're gonna get the men that hate women. Those two sides of the internet coming together in one place, combustible. Yeah, I could see Joe.
I could see him doing
happen.
that. If he wouldn't, the reason why I don't think he's gonna go up there because he said, I go up there if Mel ain't there. Joe don't like being told what to do.
That is true.
That's the only thing. If he would have left that part out, he would have been up there.
But I was about to say DDG is young, but he's like 27 now, ain't he?
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, so he's not even really that young. I don't know. He's not wrong for not wanting to be in a adversarial environment when I'm discussing my life, right? Like,
yeah.
So he's not wrong for that.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
If I'm him, I don't want her there too. Especially after you say you don't care about facts, you taking her side.
Yeah.
If we keeping it real, her sister, or you've been in close proximity to her sister. Mel used to always say she used to go to the nail salon that Chloe used to go to. I'm imagining maybe you might have run into her. Maybe y'all had conversations. I don't know. If he knows you close to that, he might be like, I'm good on that part.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
And then Mel screams. And also, men, we have to learn that, hey, when a woman's in a room and she's emotional, you defending yourself don't look good on camera. It never looks good on the playback.
Yeah, it never looks good on the playback.
And then now they trying to make y'all be silent, not look good on the playback. So it's kind of like,
It's a lose-lose.
It is. And also, I don't think Mel would want to be there either. Mel didn't want to be there when Coach Ray from BS High, you remember the dude who ran a fake football school?
Yeah.
She wasn't there for him. She said she didn't agree to the way he was treating kids. Now, I think she had an appointment that day or something else because she came right back after he left. So I was like, oh, this is BS, but whatever. But, you know, some people had their morals and values, but you 100% correct. Forget Joe Budden. Hey, bro, you don't need to be on academics. You don't need to be on The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
You don't need to be nowhere where it's a hot mic.
Not discussing your baby mama or your situation with your child. Let the courts figure it out. Then you can speak on it.
Unless you want your baby to be in France for them 3 to 6 months while she filmed that movie.
Yeah, I mean, and also, I mean, look, they're not your friend, right? Like you're going through. I don't know why y'all think when you're going through a custody fight that this is the same woman that you had unprotected sex with.
Yeah,
it is not. She is going to do everything to get under your skin. So it's the best to just disconnect and let the courts handle it if you can afford the courts. For men that cannot afford the courts, I feel for you, all right? Because it's rough because she's not doing stuff to try to make you happy.
Facts.
She's doing stuff to try to piss you off.
Absolutely. Doing stuff to piss you off. I hate Lemma. I say this for myself in a little bit.
What's happening with Dame is some real high school-ish.
Come on, Ray
It's
Davis.
like, the man is going through something. No one should enjoy watching that. And I'm being honest with you, it kind of makes me lose a little respect for Hov. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Dame was your peer. And to me, if I'm up 2.5 billion, I'm not gonna let somebody who I loved, like they still the godfather of each other kids. Jay can make one phone call and change that man's life. He can make one phone call and help that man, and he won't. Once you see it, Dame Dash loses everything, he's totally crushed. He has nothing but his kids and his family. We don't even know, like, at least tap in, like, yo, go stay at my New York house for a minute to get on your feet. The reason why it's hard for me to get on Dame and why I won't do it is because I am Dame. Everybody in here is Dame. Like, we're all just hustlers trying to make it in life, right?
See, I don't like that take on Dame Dash.
What?
That he just a hustler.
Well, I mean, I think he's using it in the sense of, we going to go get it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. Would you want to be seen more as a businessman?
No.
Yeah.
Dame Dash and Jay-Z, I better call this nigga Hov like I know him. Jay-Z, Dame Dash, there is a split that happened.
Yeah.
There was a split. So for most people don't know, because maybe you Ryan age and you wasn't around when this happened. But Jay-Z and Dame split because Jay-Z went on vacation and Dame decided to make Cameron the president of Rock Nation, and he did all this business stuff because I'm the boss, so I do all this. And Jay didn't like it, and they split.
Yeah.
And they left. And part of that is, you talk to Kanye West. Now look at everybody that was a part of the split. XXL did the split of who went with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
They included LeBron James up there. For what reason? Do not know. I mean, I know, but it's funny.
Yeah.
But you got him, you got you had Rihanna, you had Kanye, you had Young Guns, you had Memphis Bleak, you had Freeway, you had all these people, and Dame had his Harlem Boys.
Yeah.
And you wake up and it's 2025 and you realize that nobody on Dame's side rocks with Dame, but everybody on both sides had the same story. Dame Dash used to talk to you like you was smaller than life.
Yeah.
Kanye West has always said, I did not choose Dame Dash in the split because I could do exactly what Dame do. Look how Kanye West be acting.
Yeah.
Same thing. Cameron right now tells you why he don't rock with Dame. The way he talked to people, they used to say Dame would go into the label, scream at white people, tell them they wasn't shit, and then say, now push my album. You think when they looked at Dame and said, hey, Jay, y'all now doing the split, we rather work with you. You think all the other label heads was like, well, if you don't have Hov, we don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
You ain't coming to us with the diplomats thinking that we about to give you an advance of X, Y, and Z. No, you don't. You didn't even got the hottest producer in there.
And then part of that also is, right, maybe part of the reason why the diplomats didn't become a huge success is, again, like we talked about podding at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
You got to have that promotion behind you.
Yeah.
So if you're that type of individual and you don't have that promotion, yeah, you might have the most talented people in the room, you know, because Dame knew talent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you don't understand who's helping you, right? Don't mean you have to like them. And I think sometimes that becomes a problem constantly, as men, right? It's like, I don't like you, so I'm not going to work with you. Mm-hmm. And when you look at other people, they're like, I don't like you, but I need what you got.
Facts.
So we're gonna be really, really transactional here. We're not really gonna be friends, right?
Yeah.
But I need what you have, and you need what I have.
Absolutely.
So let's work together.
And the only reason why I don't like Ray Daniels' thing is because Ray Daniels has been in this music business for so long. He knows and he's told stories about how Dame used to be disrespectful.
But I think he's looking at Dame. I haven't kept up with Dame like that. I don't know if he's losing everything. I know he looks ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah, he's
right?
losing everything.
So, but I mean, sometimes rich people lose everything and I'll lose everything. Like everybody was like going in on Allen Iverson. They was like, yo, he's poor. He just getting his money. And I'm like, I just see him in 5 dudes in first class.
Yeah.
He's not really poor.
Nah.
Right?
No, but I'm saying.
So is Dame like poor or is he just rich people broke?
Well, I don't know. He bankrupting stuff and they making him sell stuff to pay off debts. And I think, here's my thing. This is why I'll say I finished about Ray Daniels before we go to the next part. He tried to do exactly what you thought he was doing. Like, hey, we're talking about Dame as a hustler.
Yeah.
When we all know the stories are already there of Dame being a great hustler, a businessman that was super smart, but super disrespectful.
Yeah.
And that story is around and it's been around for 30 years. So we got to take that into account too. He used to scream on people and disrespect. We saw what he did at the Breakfast Club. Imagine what he was doing when there's no cameras around.
Yeah, so if Hov is making, like you say, like we know this dude, if Jay-Z is making a conscious decision to stay separate because you're bad for my brand, I don't blame Jay-Z for that, right?
Or I don't rock with you no more.
Yeah. I don't now. But see, here's the thing though. This is where I agree with Ray Daniels.
Okay.
We're connected, right? We're connected through Rockefeller. We're connected. Like there's no origin story of Jay-Z, right? That doesn't have Dame Dash in the background,
Okay.
right? And it's like, because you're part of my brand, I don't really want you to fall off completely.
You was part of my brand. You're not no more.
But you part of my origin story.
So?
Right? No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, they were more than just, boys. You know what I'm saying? Like they you know what I'm saying? They were damn near brothers. And I think that sometimes, even if I disagree with somebody, it's like, yo, I might not directly help you, but I might indirectly help you because I don't know if I want to see. I mean, unless you did something that is just so foul that I can't get past it, and we don't know, right? But unless you did something that was just so foul, like, you boinked my girl, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like something short of that, right? You were stealing money from me the whole time and I never told anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But if it's just like, man, we just grew apart, his point of like, yo, make a call. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he ain't gotta know it come from you. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't want to see somebody go out completely.
I don't have no. See, that's why I totally disagree. Yo, that's 20 years ago. This is 20 years ago of Dame Dash talking crazy. This is 20 years of Dame Dash throwing in your face, I could do this. This is Dame Dash on interviews talking about, I'm the hustler. I was the businessman. Yo, you go make another hoe. Who you think that was for? Go make another one.
Yeah.
And Dame Dash, like years ago, it had to be at least 2025. It's got to be 10 years ago. They asked Jay-Z about Dame. He's like, he's a hustler. He's told us all this.
Yeah.
He's going to be fine. And then what Dame Dash did, he went right up there behind Hov, sat down and told everybody, yo, you don't work for a boss. I don't have a boss. I do all, you talking crazy to people. So if I'm Jay-Z and I'm like, all right, cool. Rockefeller label does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
Rockaware has been sold 3 times over. The only album that has us connected comes back to me in 5 more years. And you had to sell your share because you've been making bad business decisions. Yeah, bro, I'm good. Like we drew a line in the sand. Just because you started drowning, don't mean that I got to come over there and save you 2 decades later when you've been spitting in my face for the last 3 decades.
And it could be one of those things where it's like, hey, I need your apology to be as loud as,
And maybe, or
like,
it's just bruh, it's people who have helped me tremendously in my photography career. Them niggas can't get a shoot out of me tomorrow. And I don't care because whether they help me is, and like you said, this goes to the thing of whatever that line was that happened between me and them, it's cool. While you're a part of my origin story, it's cool, but I don't need, it's cool. It's dudes who helped me start podcasting. When we go on tour, them niggas is not opening for nobody.
Okay, but to that point, though, right? 10 years from now, we've been successful, grand opening,
Yes.
we're shutting it down, it's over. We're gonna be old. I'm gonna be old.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, if there's something, and let's say, let's say the money gets so good we fall out, right? So that would be a ton of money. Let's say at the end we're like, you know what? Fuck it, we're done.
We done.
Right? If there was something that you needed, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how we fall out. Like short of you boinking my girl, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, yo, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's easy to say unless I got 10 years of just telling you that, yo, you ain't shit.
I mean, I wouldn't care because I me looking you in your eye, handing you that check would be worth it. It would be worth it.
See, for me, it wouldn't even be. I'm telling you right now, we fall out in 15 years and we good. Yeah. Short of Shira calling me on my phone and saying he needs you. If it ain't her, not your other sister, not Ez.
Yeah.
If your mom called, yes.
But again though, right?
I'm telling you the two people that got to call.
but here's the thing though, right? I would make the call. Like, if I needed you, I would make the call. And maybe,
I wouldn't answer.
Yes, you would.
No.
You would answer.
Bro, no. I'm telling you, it's certain lines with me that you cross. I'm just like, and it ain't, for me, it's the girl. It's the, yo, I don't like when people act like I did not play, like I don't bring value to them. And that, I think that's the line for me. And I ain't saying that about you. I'm just saying with people who, the people who I tell you off mic that I don't rock with, it's because they either tried to play my face, tried to make me not seem intelligent, or they basically told me I didn't give them value.
I agree with the individual, like in the moment, right? We're talking about like, dude, these dudes spent 20 years together?
I know, so I'm telling you, if you try to make me look stupid, try to say I don't bring value, and you do that over a period of time, I will look at it and be like, yo, where the chips land, they're gonna land.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna step in your way, and I don't think Jay-Z is looking now.
Bro, if you was out there and you lost everything and I had taken off and I would be like, man, nah, I got you somewhere. Like, I might not say go stay in my New York house, right?
Who's gonna do that, right, David?
Yeah. I mean, I might not go that far, right? But I mean, I probably would be like, reach out to somebody. Like, even if I don't reach out to you, I'll reach out to somebody that know you and be like, hey man, what does motherfucker need, bro? Like, what does he need? Like, this is I don't even want to see this. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have it in me to be like, to take on someone that's not an enemy and treat them as such, right? Because I think you got to save that energy for actual enemies, right? I
think they actual enemies. I think so.
And that's my question, because I don't think they're actual enemies. I think there was a little big brother and little brother and that was going on. And I do think that Jay-Z is just busy now, right? He got a family, he got a wife, he got multiple businesses. I really don't think he pays attention to Dame. Like, I don't think Dame is front or center of his mind at all.
He wouldn't be front and center of mine either.
Yeah, with everything he has going on.
Look, it ain't even that.
But if someone reaches out and be like, dude, you see how your boy looking?
He know.
I know this is gonna sound crazy. I don't think he knows.
He know. They asked him on a Breakfast Club.
But I think that's just him speaking. Like, dude, think about it. Jay-Z owns Liquor Brand, Rock Nation.
Yeah.
Whatever else he owns, right? His wife is an entity in herself. She's a whole universe. I think when you're that busy, bro, I don't think you have that bandwidth to be worrying about people that are outside of your circle.
He knows. He told you if you go buy Dame's steak in the album, you won't have it in 5 years because it's coming right back to me. He could have paid Dame that money right there and said, "I'll buy it from you." He said, fair. "No, it is something deep." Jay-Z knows, and Jay-Z is petty.
This is a point where Gavin is right.
Hey, if you go make another hove. And then you know what this brought me to?
Yeah.
Duke Dennis is online talking about and this goes back to, do you owe people to help?
Yeah.
And he's talking about, he found out his friends, since he's been doing all the streaming and stuff, has been stealing from him since day one. And he was like, I had to go turn him into the police. Like, he's been stealing from me.
And that's different, right? Boinking my girl, still.
See, now your rules, your list get lumpy.
Nah. Touching my money is worse than touching my girl.
Because she got to consent to that.
Yeah, she got touching my money. So again, right? But I did say it, like, if he stole money, like, if it's things like that, that's like, okay, we can't rock together.
Absolutely. And poor Dame, man. And it ain't even poor Dame for me. It's like, Dame know what's up, man. Yeah. It is poor Dame, man. Poor freaking Dame. All right, let's get to this other part. This woman was online. She said, yo, women shouldn't give y'all 100%. Do you want to play that? She said women should only give 90 to 95%. You want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's hear what she got to say. I love this part. I love when women say stuff. I love ladies talking. Y'all should keep talking more. Here we go.
Forum on a relationship panel thing. It was a big platform. And the cast and I got into this huge thing because I was saying that I don't even care if this man is your husband. You do not ever get 100% because the 5 to 10% is the shovel you're going to need to dig yourself out when shit go left. And all the men on that stage was like, can I not pay 100% of the bills? Can I not do this? And I said to the women, I pray you meet a man that doesn't require 100% of you. Okay. Because that 5 to 10% when you want to go to fucking Pilates, when you want to work out, when you want to pivot and try a new career, when you want to say, hey, I don't want to fucking.
She started off bad. She tried to clean up the end, but this is how the confusion, that confusion keep women single 100% of the time.
Yeah. No.
Because I don't require, because she said a man that don't require you 100% of the time. I don't require my wife 100% of the time.
Nobody do.
Nope.
Nobody does. Like, I mean, you're an adult. You're an individual. There's going to be things. Matter of fact, my loving you is giving you space to do the things that you want to do that do not include me.
Please go get your nails done.
Right? And then vice versa, right? Like, you loving me is going to allow me to do things that do not include you. That ideal of partnership, I mean, we've heard it, right? Both people are giving 100%, right? Here's the thing. And sometimes you're going to give more than the other person. Mm-hmm. One of the things that really that made it so I would not be bitter when it comes to dating is I was like, you know what? I just want to be the best that I could be. Period, point blank, right? I don't care what she's offering. I don't care what she's giving. She could be great. She could be bad. I'm still going to give all I can, right?
Yeah.
But what it made me realize is when I wasn't getting effort back. Because like when I give a ton of effort and I'd be like, dang, I ain't getting nothing back, right? It was just like, oh, well, that sucks for her, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to move on and hand it to a person,
Somebody
right?
else.
Until I find the person that gives it back. And because I give it, when I receive it back, I know what it feels like. And I'm going to be like, damn, that's it.
What's funny is we was watching Love Island last night. I'm catching up. Shout out to Miss Sapphire that shout out to Pod on the topic.
I know, right?
Shout out to you.
I want to check it out. She got good work.
That girl had she caused an argument in my house. I said, God dang it. Because niggas called me and said, yo, you seen the video?
Yo, you got to know what you can and can't say, bro.
My girl said, what video? What you say? Who is she? I don't know. I ain't never seen the woman, never met her, never gonna meet her. But you know what? I was watching Love Island last night and it was funny because one of the girls, she is being gaslit, so I'm not gonna do that to her. But in her being gaslit the next day, she was like, oh my gosh, I hate when me and my man are doing well. Like, I need a little toxic in my relationship. I need a little argument. And the only thing I did was I looked at it and I told my wife, I was like, I hate this conversation.
Yeah.
I hate it. And she was like, and, mind you, my girl's not confrontational. So she's like, I hate this shit too. And I told her, I said, that's the reason why I don't like when you all, not her, but when the Hispanic community leans into like, oh, we spicy and feisty.
Yeah, I don't like that too. I actually love Hispanic women, but I don't play that spicy thing at all.
I don't play that at all. And I don't play when somebody, when black dudes, when bros walk up to me and be like, oh, you got a Puerto Rican girl, you must like them spicy.
Yeah.
Bro, I swear to you, if you ever walk up to me and say that, I will correct you dead in your tracks because I don't like people to think unhealthy relationships is attractive or cool.
Facts.
Or maybe that's what you into. Like, no, my girl don't curse at me. We don't yell. We don't get physical. Now, she didn't told me to shut up before. You know what I'm saying? We didn't argue. And part of that is falling in love all over again, over and over. But like, my girl, she's not the feisty one. I let people know that all the time. She is chill. She don't like that I bring her up on this podcast. She don't want to be known. She don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
And she got hands. I love reminding y'all that.
Yeah, I'm with her. Keep private. But, again, right, I think this ideal of, and she did try to clean up with that whole 90-95. That's not what she meant.
No.
That's not what she meant.
She started off.
And this is the thing, right? If you're going to give it in a relationship, you better make sure you're giving more than the girl that's up next.
Yeah.
You better make sure. Oh, I did forget to apologize for one thing.
What's that?
For K. Michelle, sorry about the side chick clip. That really wasn't what we was talking about. We have contributed to that side chick conversation.
Shout out to that video.
Way more than what we, I think, expected to do. Did not expect that clip to have over 2 million views.
Shout out to us. Double platinum.
There's more to that episode than what you see in that clip. But we're partly to blame.
And we were talking about college.
We were talking about college.
But I clipped that out.
Yes, you
For
did.
what? Why do I need y'all to know we was talking about when we was 18? For what?
Oh,
Who
man.
cares?
Yeah, so.
And then I love them not realizing. Well, I didn't say too much. I love them not knowing that you're not a pastor, but you are a pastor.
This is my congregation. These are my people.
The most beautiful women list has arrived.
I don't know why you added this.
Why?
You like just dipping your toe in.
Hold on.
In arguments.
Nah, I like the list. Well, no, I actually don't like this list. I have a problem.
All right, let's go. Let's go through it.
All right, so let's go to the list. Where you sent to that? Oh, how was your Father's Day?
I didn't.
Dang.
Okay, one, I did not send this list because everybody gonna think I sent it at the beginning. I can find it for you real quick. So everybody gonna blame me for it. I'll read it all.
How was your Father's Day though?
Father's Day was good. Kiddo was actually with his mom. I asked him did he want to come through. He was like, nope. And I was like,
what do y'all prefer? Do you prefer, and I guess I'm asking for you and her, she prefer his Mother's Day to have him, he be with you, or do you prefer him to be with his mom?
When he was younger, I think it made a big deal because we were in the fight.
Yeah.
But now that we actually are co-parenting pretty decently, knock on wood again.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah. I think it's almost like, what works for you? Because I was just like, you could drop him off, but I was like, if not, no big deal. And and that's kind of how we are now, because even like yesterday, it's not my week, and like she hit me up. She's like, "Hey, can I drop them off?" And I had them all day. Like I had them way longer than what she said. By the way, y'all women got to stop doing that. Can I drop off for a few hours? Yeah. 9 hours later, I'm like, "Hey,
oh Mike, that's a few hours."
Like if you needed me to keep her for the night, just tell me that. Like I would have done it. I was like, I'm actually going out to watch the game. I actually need you to come get him soon.
Yeah,
like,
when Brittany asked me to watch Hayden, when she said, "Can you watch him for a few hours?" I know that's from 8 to 5. I know that's from it's a working hours. It don't matter.
How about this? You just want me to keep him overnight?
That's be the answer.
No, but back to the original point.
Hold on, before we go there.
Yeah,
y'all co-parenting will get better. Joe Budden said when the pod took off and the child support, like all that started going, he said his baby mom act a lot better. He said co-parenting goes easier once you.
Oh, women like rich men? For real?
I'm just letting you know.
I had no clue.
It's gonna get better. Let's get to this list. Let's start from 10 up.
All right, 10 up. All right, so this is the 10 countries with the most beautiful women in the world. This is from Insider Monkey. I do not know how they calculate these. Oh, yeah. They went to Reddit.
Okay,
they went to Reddit. They went to Reddit. Right. So, but I still don't know how they pulled this out of Reddit.
Oh, you put polls on there.
Okay. So number 10. They did it through upvotes. Duh. My reading comprehension is bad right now. Number 10, Japan. Japan came in number 10. So
okay.
I can see. Nobody get mad at me for what I'm about to say. Asian women don't really do it for me like that.
That's where I was going.
Yeah, but I can see. I can tell a beautiful woman in any nationality.
Facts. Also, I like they damn near Pacific Islanders at that point. Pacific Asians, they can. But you can collect me.
Yeah,
dark skinned Asians, yes.
All right, let's see if they're on the list. Number 9. All right, I'm going to say this is way too low.
Okay, what is it?
Brazil.
That's too low. That's my argument for this whole thing, but let's go.
Way too low. All right, coming in at number 8, United States.
That's low.
Yeah. Hey, look, I'm going to defend the United States. I know a lot of y'all think that like I don't like the United States women, and that's not the case. I hate our culture. Not just our dating culture. Our culture in the United States is just bad right now. Mm-hmm. Nobody's here is ugly. We're just fat.
Yeah, but I mean, it's fat people in every country.
It is, but like we're excessively like it's like 70% of us.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Like every time I see the girls lose weight when they be doing like the before and after, I'm like fellas too. Like I be like, yo, this is 2 different women.
Lizzo.
Now Lizzo ain't there yet, but
she getting there.
She getting there. But it's like these are 2 completely different women.
With the United States so low, do you think they said we're gonna pull out people? All right, we're gonna pull out y'all Dominicans. We're gonna pull out y'all.
Oh yeah. They went straight American. They went white Americans, black Americans.
Okay, cool.
That's where that list was. Yeah, they pulled out everybody else. Yes. Number 7, Iceland. Never been.
Yeah, I don't know.
6, Sweden. 5, Czech Republic. 4, Russia. 3, Greece. That's too high. Matter of fact, I think everything that I just named is too high.
Absolutely, we got better white women than them countries.
Yeah, like in the U.S. Like, yeah, all these are too high. Number 2 is Poland. Again, I have not been to these last 5 countries. Yeah. 7 countries on here. So I could not tell you, but just from what I've seen, from their representation, right? Because Brazil representation is great.
We about to go straight there as soon as you say no more.
And then number 1 on the list, I did not make this list. I did not upvote this hundreds of times.
See, yeah, all right.
Number 1 on the list, Colombia.
All right. My argument is I'm not respecting no list where Brazil is not in the top 3.
Yeah, Brazil has to be. Yeah, and what's funny is the country that really should be on here, and I would never tell y'all what this country is. I would gatekeep just to the pearly gates.
Okay.
They're not on the list at all.
They're not.
They're not on the list at all.
The letter is at the end of the alphabet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the end of the alphabet.
Yeah. So I'm not. So, but no, Brazil should definitely be higher. Yeah,
Brazil should definitely be higher. Like I'm talking top 3.
It really should.
Brazil, the women down there are beautiful, but you know what?
They have a fitness culture down there.
Yeah, but also they have the problem with Brazil is it's too dark, and in Colombia you got to mix. A lot of these countries, the world is, especially Reddit, it's an American company. Reddit, like they're gonna be going for who got the best looking fair skinned women.
Good catch. Good catch.
I was trying to clean it up at the end, and so. The thing is, you go to Colombia, you're going to see fair-skinned women, but you're going to see dark, brown-skinned women, then you're going to see dark, and you're going to be like, cool. And then you have the flip side is, Brazil is going to be a lot of dark-skinned women. But if that's what you into, you there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not jacking,
Yeah. Brazil is way too low. US is way too low.
Yeah.
I know y'all think we be banging on
black women are
the
beautiful.
States. I mean, the thing is, even the Euro Americans are good looking here because a lot of them had grandparents that was passing.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you get a what do they call it? Is it an admixture? Like the admixture in the United States.
Yeah.
Again, we're just fat. But if we was in shape in the United States, this would be one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
And then I'm imagining they doing that whole thing like, oh, she's white, she's beautiful, but she's Dutch. Or she's white, she's beautiful, she's Russian.
The exotic.
Yeah, that's that BS y'all be pulling out all the time, and I get to laugh all the time. The Diddy trial is getting to where it's getting, and it's getting interesting. And I am a part of the plan of. I definitely pause this. There we go.
I still don't know. From every clip that they drop, I still don't know. I know what y'all say he's on trial for, but I still don't know what he's on trial for.
We're waiting for y'all to get to the part that he on trial for.
Yeah, like what are y'all? Is he a dirtbag? Guilty.
Yeah,
right.
But that ain't the charge.
That ain't the charge.
Yeah, I don't know. I think now they're trying to get to that trafficking part. They're trying to get to the trafficking part.
But here's the thing with the trafficking part. We're going to play it. It seemed like everybody is participating.
Yeah, but if I'm paying to fly you across state lines to have sex, that's trafficking.
While it's trafficking, but I'm saying it seems like the women are like, it doesn't really seem like the money's coming. I mean, again, I don't know what check is being cut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if Bad Boy Inc. is cutting the check for it.
That's going to be where the
and that's what I guess. Yeah, that's where the RICO comes in at. But it really looks like the ladies are calling people up more than he's calling people up.
But see, now if I'm paying those people to come over here, if I'm getting the Punisher to meet us in Miami for a weekend, then we trafficking him too. And here's my problem. Yeah. I think they're gonna get him on the trafficking. Also, I don't know. Here's my thing. I think they're proving that. I don't know if a jury's gonna say that because I think you're gonna talk to dudes who be like, oh, she live in Atlanta, I live in Charlotte. We went to Cabo for a weekend.
Yeah.
And we just, I like her.
Or hell, she's in New York, I'm in Charlotte. Like, what woman is like, well, let me go buy my plane ticket to come see you?
And that's why I think you're going to get the line's going to be so blurry that somebody going to be like, I don't see that as trafficking. So anyway, let's get to this clip. Here we go. Oh shit, did I skip it?
I think it's at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, like and shout out to Ashley. I saw her. She said I need to start overlaying these videos because she likes to watch on YouTube. Sis, I got you. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Maybe there is coercion here.
Yeah, I think that Diddy definitely, the prosecution is trying to present this case that Diddy definitely used his power, his money, and his influence to control these women, not just Cassie, but Jane as well. And I think to Saren's point, yes, there was a lot more vocalizing on Jane's end that she didn't want to do this, but there was also a lot of vocalizing on her end that she did want to do these things. And that
I love how they could just talk out both sides of their mouth.
She enjoyed these things. And toward the end of her time on the stand, the defense poked a lot of holes in that. They pulled up audio messages and text messages and things where she was telling, scheduling escorts on her own, or, telling them that she loved, spending time with them and being intimate with them. So I think it's really just a toss up. I think Jane, like Saren said, it's just very complex witness who had a very tumultuous relationship with Diddy.
So this is a 10-minute clip. So, what's your thoughts on it? Or what's the conversation?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest question here is, what is coercion if you want to be there, right? Is coercion, like, it has not sounded like Diddy has said, you have to do this. It sounds like Diddy has been like, hey, if you don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, right? That seems to be the running theme here.
Yeah, somewhat.
Somewhat, right?
Somewhat. So for that, I can't say that it's consent. I would say it's coercion.
But what is if a rich man says, hey, all right, if you with me, you live this lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
That lifestyle exists when you're with me, right?
Yes.
If you're not with me, you do not get that lifestyle, right?
True. Okay.
If a woman consents to that, I don't think we can still say it. That's still coercion.
Yeah, I look at it as like this. And by the way, I think a lot of y'all, especially that Love Island's clip, showed me that a lot of people, even women, don't understand what consent is. And I think that's the problem with our generation. A lot of you niggas did not grow up watching Law and Order every Wednesday like I did. Because I consent.
Can't say Law and Order.
Look, I watch SVU is my favorite. I've seen every season. I skipped to season 3 because Olivia with the butch haircut did not do it for me. But that clip, the reason why I'm bringing up the Love Island clip is because somebody tried to explain to me that how consent work, and I told them, I said, no, the beauty about consent is it can be taken at any time.
It can be withdrawn at any time.
Anytime.
Yeah.
So what they did say in this full clip was, she said, hey, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. And
he was still, all right, if you don't, you ain't getting the 10 grand.
Yeah.
You're not getting this. And that's where the coercion goes, where, hey, I'm paying your rent. I'm saying, the joke is, I was surprised. This is why I was asking which part you want to pay.
Yeah.
He's still paying her rent now.
Yeah, he's still paying it.
You don't get to come on my stand and try to get me convicted of trafficking, and you think I'm paying your rent. Because he's still paying her rent and her lawyer fees. That to me is mind blowing.
And this is the thing. We can't say, well, okay, this is where I'm at.
Sorry, I took us off on the tangent.
No. I'm glad you did, because you're absolutely right. Consent can be withdrawn at any time, right? So that has to be the standard, right? But if consent is withdrawn at any time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a de facto diet sex worker at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only way you're a sex worker is if you're being paid. Right?
Correct.
So if you're saying that I no longer provide the service that you are paying for, and a man withdraws his payment, right? It is fair exchange, no robbery at that point.
Yeah, unless I'm not treating you or talking to you as you are a sex worker. Because I'm telling you, you're my girl. I'm telling you, we are in a relationship. She literally said, hey, he had to come to me and say, hey, I want to let you know I have several girlfriends. She said they had that conversation.
Yeah.
So he not treating her like the Punisher, who's a sex worker. He treating her like you my girl. So
that's why we call it diet sex work, though.
Yeah. But when do you ever look at the woman and say, I'm treating you like a diet sex worker? You don't.
Well, no, because I mean, when we like a woman, like, we excuse a lot of behaviors that they have,
absolutely,
that are not great behaviors.
Yeah,
and I have no doubts that Diddy does like these women. To your point, right? He's still paying her lawyer fee.
Yeah.
Like that's wild. Paying your lawyer fees, paying your rent, right? So there's something there, right?
Yeah.
There's something there. And look, I reserve everybody's ability to be able to say at any given time, hey, I thought I wanted to do this. I don't want to do this.
Facts.
And as a man, you should respect it, right?
You be like Diddy.
And here's exactly, right? And here's also the thing, right? It's like, if you are using your money to make somebody do something they don't want to do, that is financial abuse.
It is. But my thing is, like, where's the fun in that?
But
I mean, some dudes just get off on
power, right?
Power.
It's a power dynamic.
Yeah, you're right.
But the last thing I'll add to that is that if a woman says she doesn't want to do it, and as a man you are paying for everything, and as a man you say, you know what, I don't really want to pay for everything anymore because you don't do the things I want. I think that's fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you use that as the stick, right, the carrot and the stick, I think that's where you're wrong. But I don't think you can really figure that out in court. I think you're either a dirtbag in real life or you aren't.
Well, they proving you're a dirtbag in real life.
Yeah, so it's like, like if I can provide, and I'm just saying, well, I'm gonna stop providing because you're not doing something that I don't want you to do, or you're doing something that I don't want you to do. So I'm gonna stop providing, right, to fix that behavior, right? I think you can start moving more so into coercion.
Yeah.
But it's hard when you a diet sex worker. I think you're really blurring the lines on, and again, I'm saying consent. You got to have consent. You can withdraw it at any time. But when consent is withdrawn, that just means you don't have to do the act.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that person is still obligated to whatever lifestyle they was giving you.
Oh, absolutely. And I think she figuring that out because, I mean, these checks cutting off for a lot of these girls.
Yeah.
Young Miami wore a different outfit to the BET Awards this year than what she wore when she went with Diddy. Did you see her outfit?
No, I did not.
They was calling it a prom outfit.
Wow.
It was, I seen you.
Wow.
I want no smoke, Young Miami.
Yeah.
But it was bad. It didn't, stuff does change. But, I think a lot of these people, especially her, especially she's being a Jane Doe, she don't want the fame. She don't want nothing to come with this. They ain't saying her name. They ain't leaking it. They hinting at Kanye was at some of these parties and Kanye showing up the next day. Let me know everything I need to know. But I say that to say, I think they are just saying, hey, we're just pulling out the information out of you to prove other things.
And again, right, if you're using the money as a carrot and a stick, you're absolutely wrong for that. But if we had something that you enjoyed, because I mean, if you listen to the whole clip, it's pretty interesting. It's 10 minutes. I think it's on the Shade Room.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to it, it's like some of the time she wanted it.
Yeah.
Right. And some of the time she didn't. Like that's fair, right? Like how many times, you be like, how many times your wife come home and she really, really want to have sex, right?
Yeah, and me, it's girl.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and
then there's gonna be times where she's like, "Yo, I don't want to," right? Like, we understand that. Like, this is not crazy. Like, I don't know why we're making it be a huge idea. There was times where she wanted to freak out, and then there was times where she was just like, "Hey, I just want it to be us."
Also, something was very interesting in that video. She went and did a freak off with another rapper and his wife, and Diddy got mad about that.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be my freak off.
Yeah, but also I don't like that. Another rapper and his wife. And only a couple of y'all that's married. I'm gonna just leave that out there. And I think that's dirty. That's dirty. That's just dry snitching.
You got to tell me who you think it is out there.
I think it's Kim and Kanye.
Come on, man. You can't just throw that out there.
Well,
allegedly.
So no, I don't know. You asked me what I think.
Yeah.
The reason why is because they were saying in the other trial notes was coming out and they're saying that Diddy will have a celebrity and his wife there. And other people, I throw Martin Lamont Hill under the bus. He said Torre told him that he didn't confirm it by 5-6 people that is Kanye. And Martin Lamont Hill said, I confirmed it from like 3 other people that I personally know who know people that was there. And they was like, oh, Kanye used to be there all the time. And then that comes out and then Kanye comes to court. He's been supporting Diddy this whole time.
Yeah.
Now he's coming to court, and now they saying this week is when they're going to drop who the rapper is. So I think it's that. Now, I'm just assuming maybe there's some issues there. I always thought Diddy and Kanye's relationship was weird.
Yeah.
Interesting to say the least.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. Like, don't dry snitch. Like,
well, we better find out. And it's only a couple of them that's married. 2 Chainz is married. T.I. is married. Ye is married. Jay is married.
Because
Ice Cube is married.
Because here's the thing: the person that's doing it with his wife, he has his wife consent because she's there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, she's there.
But you know how that goes. Nobody don't care about that. What they really care about is the embarrassment. Like, if y'all knew what me and my wife was into, y'all be like,
Gavin's gonna have to tell us on the Patreon one day.
Oh, it ain't nothing spicy. It ain't wet.
Next topic.
The NBA Finals. Hey, Hayden, I know you don't listen to this podcast, buddy, but you about to owe me $50. The thing is 3-2. How was the game last night? I ain't watch.
It had moments. It wasn't as good as the first.
They saying the ratings is down real bad. Here's
the thing. I can see people say the ratings down because it's 2 teams that nobody really care about. But this is probably one of the best finals that I've seen. Last night was the only game that was really not good.
That game when SGA and them was up like 30-something points at halftime. I turned that shit off at halftime.
Yeah, but they came back though. That's what Indiana do.
They will come back.
Hallie got hurt last night. That played a part. I will say this. Shea is getting on my nerves, man. Like
why?
They're always looking for the call. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And I hate that. That's one of the things I hate about LeBron. Right?
Okay.
Like look, cuss the ref out, keep it moving.
Okay.
Don't every time somebody touch you, look for the call, initiate contact. Like he's getting on my nerve. Now, with that being said, like Shea is like a way better Dwayne Wade. So he's going to be one of the best 2 guards all time. Like when I watch his game, the way he get to the basket, the way he pulls up, the way he creates separation.
Taller.
Yeah, he just like he plays just like Dwayne Wade. He's like a way better D Wade. So I mean, he's definitely going to be here, to stay. But like, bro, stop with the whining.
I like the one. I like him getting his fouls because he initiate the contact.
He does
hook you
exactly. I don't like that.
But you know what? It reminds me of an interview that I watched with Chris Paul, and he talks about how certain players like him. He said, "I get penalized for knowing the rules."
Yeah,
and he said it's not fair because I know. He said I take time in the offseason to study rules of like what we can and can't do, like. Yeah. How you can move, how far. He's like, I studied what the referees study.
Yeah.
And he said, I know the rules so well that they started penalizing me for knowing stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, so I couldn't, and I'm not saying Shay is doing this, but maybe it's a little bit of Shay saying, all right, I know we get here, this, they see enough of this, they have to call this. But yeah, I mean, I can understand why everybody gets on his nerves.
That's a valid point. That's a real valid point.
Sellers' dad said his son didn't need $8 million over 2 years.
That was funny.
I hated this comment.
So we're talking about Lenore Sellers, South Carolina Gamecocks quarterback. So this offseason, let me say something. I love NIL. I love it. Like I know y'all hate it, and I know why y'all hate it, and that makes me love it more.
Unknown caller.
Keep going.
So, but Lenore Sellers was offered like $4 million a year for the next 2 years. And his dad was like, he don't need that. He don't need $8 million. That was a wild comment by his father, but
I love and hate the comment.
I get why his father did it. Like, because you know what? He knows his son. And he knows his son with $4 million in LA probably was not going to be a great idea.
Oh, definitely not. It ain't going to be a great idea. Plus, y'all going to have to go over there. I don't like it because I don't know how old his pops is. Do you know?
I do not, but I'm guessing he's probably between my age and your dad's age.
Okay, so then definitely he was raised by people that had slave mentality. That's what I was getting at.
I don't have a slave mentality.
Oh, absolutely you do.
Oh, you crazy.
Yes, you do. I tell you this all the time.
No.
I tell you all the time. People from South Carolina, they are a little bit behind on like the common terms of what life is going on.
No, people in South Carolina they live there. Like they don't need everybody else to agree with it.
So I got South Carolina, and it's a certain generation. Yeah. South Carolina is northern Georgia. Is Georgia outside of Atlanta? Because most people think Georgia is Atlanta.
First off, South Carolinians are their own people. South Carolinians are not like North Carolinians. They're not like Georgians.
I'm
Mississippians.
I'm building a bigger thing here. It's the Mississippi people.
Yeah.
They look at certain stuff and it's like, yo, you do know it's not the civil
You
rights
mean the
movement
small town mentality. It's not a slave mentality.
No. I'm getting there. It's like they don't, they got a problem with LGBTQ plus. They got to think about women working. They got to think about where they can just like homeboy's dad saying, hey, my kid don't need money. Exactly what white people say with reparations. Like, yo, y'all don't need it. And he's saying my son need education. White people, the Klansman heard him say that and was rejoicing.
Well, like again, I think it's a part of him saying the right thing.
Oh yeah, that's why I really love this conversation. Outside of the jokes, I really love what he's saying because you know your kid better than anybody.
I think it's him saying the right thing. For one, two. I think when they looked at the numbers, it didn't make any sense, right? Like if he's making, I don't know what he's making in South Carolina, but it's probably at least $1.5 million, if not $2 million.
Okay,
right. So if he's making $2 million in Columbia, right, he can't move to Miami for $4 million.
You could.
He can't. No, he can't. Now he's making $2 million in Columbia.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. The lifestyle that he can live now in Columbia, South Carolina, you double that income. You can't live that in Miami anymore.
Well, the lifestyle, Columbia ain't special.
No, Columbia's cheap. I'm saying it's cheap.
I love Columbia, so I don't want no disrespect for what I want to say.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing to do in Columbia outside of October to y'all always go home. Y'all don't play no bowl games, so you're only there for 4 months. It ain't nothing to do. It's no trouble. This is why I say I like his dad saying, because there's no trouble to get into, but it's no city, it's no culture. It ain't no fun to have. Y'all ain't got no malls. You ain't got a movie theater. Nobody wants to be in Columbia.
You have
with $2 million.
You have the lake, and you have all the girls from every college down there. No, the beach is 2 hours away from Columbia, right? You can go to any beach you want down there. You can go to Charleston. You can come to Charlotte. Like in Columbia, it's like he's not missing anything. Like for the lifestyle that he can live in Columbia, if you double his money, he's gonna be in Miami. Those boats are gonna cost way more in Miami than what they costing at Lake Murray or Lake Norman. Right?
We're not finna compare Miami. We're not finna compare South Beach to Lake Norman or racist as slavery town Charleston.
What we're talking about is how far your dollar could go. Because that's what the money's about.
Yeah,
he could still get to Miami for a weekend. He could still get to LA for a weekend.
Absolutely. But
living there?
Bro, first of all, I'm living. I got $4 million. The school is taking care of everything. I'm not, we getting to Miami, you getting me my condo and I'm having a ball. I'm just saying, you're not going to say, hey, bro, you want to go $4 million, no state taxes in Miami South Beach, or do you want to go live in Columbia off of Broad River? There's no freaking comparison. It's
there's no comparison, but you got to have
Notch or South Beach.
But you got to have the money. What I'm saying is, if it comes down to the money, it's like, yo, you can go visit there. It's a difference if you got to live there,
man.
Bro, if you make 150 in Charlotte, you probably decent. You make 150 in New York City, your apartment is the size of this room.
Absolutely, I understand that. But we talking about if you make 150 here, or if you make $500,000 in New York.
Yeah.
Those two lifestyles are very different. They might be similar, but the one in New York, you're going to say, I take $500,000 in New York. Now, you're going to get cut in taxes. That's why it's a little different. Yeah. So I get it. But if somebody said, and Charlotte and New York ain't comparable to South Carolina and Miami.
No, there's no comparison in where you would want to live. But we're saying for the money,
the women better, the food better, the weather's better.
Guess what? You got to pay for all that shit.
Yeah, I got $4 million.
Yeah, so that's where your extra $2 million is going.
You can't convince me.
No, that's where your extra $2 million is going.
You got to walk 2 miles to get to the stadium from school.
That's where your extra $2 million is going. So you're not making more money. You're more distracted.
Definitely that.
You're way more distracted.
That's why I'm sticking with his dad.
Yeah, like,
but yeah,
it's not a come up. That's what I'm saying. Like, I could easily see his father saying, "No,
I could see
we'll stay here."
I see his dad saying that, but there's no comparison. Broad River, how you say it? Gervais Street.
Gervais Street.
That or South Beach? No, bro.
There's no comparison. But
it's not even.
But what I'm saying is, doubling your money is not enough.
And I can probably get more. You just talking about that one person give me an NIL. Then you start talking, look, I'm going to whatever Miami Heat game I want to go to for free. Bruh. I'm going to Dolphins games for free. I'm going, the hoes you don't even got to pay for.
Jimmy Butler was complaining about Miami prices, bro.
He was complaining about some other stuff.
I'm just saying.
But he got taxes coming out of most of his stuff. But he got,
I'm just saying, like,
he paid $100,000 in child support.
Yeah, you go to South Beach and you see how the Peruvians and Colombians down there, very easy to get child support in Miami.
The other name that's down there.
Cubans?
The ones that's at the end of the alphabet.
We ain't talk about that. Like, you see how, it's very easy.
Absolutely.
to end up on child support.
And it's nothing to do in 5 points outside of November,
September
to December.
Look, it is some women that come through Columbia.
But they going right back to Florida State and Miami.
Man, you just there for football season. Like, women come through. Women are everywhere. You got money. Women are everywhere.
If I got $4 million, I got a lot more women.
Man,
Columbia ain't nothing but Tallahassee with the worst football team and the worst city.
Columbia is better than Tallahassee.
No, it's not.
If you took FAMU out of Tallahassee, it would have nothing. I mean, you got Florida State for sure.
I bet say,
but I'm just saying. But
what's better in Columbia than Tallahassee? Like what exactly?
The game day experience, hanging out downtown, all that's better.
I think at y'all height. I don't think y'all sniff when Jameis was there.
No.
It's at they height.
When you talk about people that's coming in for just the championship, but I guarantee you take South Carolina last year and you take Florida State last year. I guarantee.
Well, that's last year. They had a shitty season.
Well, I'm just saying, but Columbia is the same regardless. Shitty season, great season,
bro.
It's the same regardless.
If it ain't them AC,
I am not making Columbia out to be a party city. Let's be clear. But what I am saying is that as a 22-year-old man, you're not missing anything for what you can afford as a 22-year-old man in Columbia, South Carolina. You're not missing anything.
As a person who spent a lot of time in both cities, they are the same city. They are 100% the same city. Y'all got y'all HBCUs. They got theirs. Y'all got y'all white school. The endowment tell you enough right there. Like, they the same thing.
Yeah, I hate the mugginess in the panhandle. And the bugs.
Oh, yeah. Both cities got shitty weather. That's my favorite part. Look, we got Clemson versus South Carolina or Florida State versus the Gators. I'm telling you, game day experiences is way different.
I mean, game day experience when Florida State is winning, I'm saying it's good. I'm just saying, city-wise,
y'all don't get no game days when y'all ain't good.
Nobody gets game days that are not good, Gavin. Except Army, Navy. That's it. What are you talking about?
And we didn't stop putting them. Never mind. They fight for this country. I'm watching a Black Hawk Down doc. The government, they just do whatever. And when you watch these old docs, I don't know what Obama allowed to come out because we getting a lot of docs from a lot of things that's not classified no more.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, dog. That is an interesting doc of like what these men were told when they was going there, how they picked these things. I'm telling you that the 9/11 doc was interesting. They did change some stuff, like we wasn't there for it, which I love. And also, I will say this about the 9/11 doc. Y'all have to stop letting people tell a different version of the story when they've done several interviews telling a different story. The guy who shot Osama bin Laden told a key part of how they found Osama bin Laden, and they left it out in the Netflix doc, which was that it was a woman in there who confirmed bin Laden was in there, and she knew he was there, and she knew she was basically like a traitor.
Okay.
They left that out in the Netflix doc. And to me, that's important because they made it just seem like, oh, we just picked a house. Obama didn't know. We just went in there willy-nilly, and oh, he was there.
Well,
like,
no. Part of telling a good story is being able to lie.
Oh, I love doing that.
Yeah.
Jay Will and Stephen A. Smith. I ain't gonna go all the way into that. Just Jay Will. I hope you renting in New York, buddy. Stephen A. Smith got a good way of like making sure if he don't rock with you no more, you don't have a job no more.
Jay Will had some. He had some spicy takes last week.
He did, but I like him. He's doing what Stephen A. needs, and if I'm Stephen A., you gotta let him get that off because if not, then the show just becomes your voice only, and people would check out.
Yeah. Because I definitely check out whenever just Stephen A. talking.
Did you see Stephen A. sign the Sirius?
For what?
Look it up. Stephen A. show apparently went to Sirius, and he got somebody fired over there last week. I need to find out that tea. Just confirm that before I keep going. AB is wanted for attempted murder charge. Apparently, some people tried to rob him.
Yeah, Florida, y'all gonna have to explain to me the stand your ground law. Like, is it just exclusively Anglo Americans?
Yeah,
like just be clear with the stand your ground. And I'm not an AB defender of anything.
Absolutely.
But if somebody's trying to rob him and he pulls out his gun, he's in the state of Florida. Y'all got it, or do you have to? Does stand your ground only works if you actually murdered a person?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like, I don't know. Like, Florida, I need y'all to explain the stand your ground law.
They don't know. They be confusing me, and I love it. But yeah, AB said something last night that was so nasty. I was just like,
and again, look, AB is a idiot.
He's
right?
problematic.
We're talking about, and we say AB. We're talking about Antonio Brown.
Yes.
He is an idiot, right? Definitely got CTE. But if somebody's robbing him and the guy pulls out a gun and defends himself and you're in the state of Florida, again, I need y'all to clarify the stand your ground law. If it's just Euro Americans, be like, hey, stand your ground is just for Euro Americans. But it can't, if you need the person to be gone at the end of it, just say, hey, stand your ground only works if they're gone. If they're still here, it's going to be an attempted murder charge.
Before we get up out of here, how do you feel about Ryan Clark saying that Lamar is, the first authentic black quarterback?
Ryan Clark talks too much. Stephen A. signed a 2-year deal with Sirius to host 2 shows. One focused on sports and the other on current events, pop culture, and social commentary. Stephen A. is not good at that. I don't know why y'all keep giving him these shows. He's barely good. Like, Max Kellerman needs to eat him up in the morning. Like, he's barely good at
Max
sports.
used to tear him up. Jalen Rose used to tear him up. JJ Redick used to tear him up.
Yeah.
It's bad. But look, man, my favorite thing about Stephen A. is when he walks in the back hallways acting like where the players walk.
Yeah.
And nobody take pictures, but he be looking at everybody like,
yeah, exactly.
And they be killing him online for it. I think it's hilarious.
But back to your question. Ryan Clark with y'all gotta start acting like Warren Moon didn't exist.
I have his jersey, and I've never seen this man play a day in his life.
Like, we've had a great black quarterback in the league before. Like, y'all gotta chill. And I like, this is new. We didn't have many. That tells you how good Warren Moon was.
Absolutely.
Because they really did not want Warren Moon to play quarterback. Like, he balled out at the University of Washington. Balled out.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody touched him. Mm-hmm. Dude had to go to the CFL and ball out again. Like, so much so that the NFL finally was like, all right, bring him into camp.
Let's see.
And they brought him in, and the rest is history. And Warren Moon, I don't think is like the greatest human being in the world. I think he's problematic.
Damn.
A lot of people are, right? A lot of our greatest inventors are problematic, all right? Founding people of this country are problematic. So
I saw a woman say that we only have STDs because Christopher Columbus couldn't stop fucking animals. But he's problematic anyway. Outside of that,
yes, he's problematic. He never even landed on the shores of America. That's the crazy thing about Christopher Columbus.
Where he landed at?
The Caribbean. He never touched North America.
I thought he got to Florida. That's all.
Yeah, he never touched North America at all.
Interesting.
So
and did all this.
Yeah, and get all this credit for never even been here.
Love it. Magic said that to be a superstar, you got to sell out an opposing team's arena.
I like this take.
Me too.
I like this take. I think that's the clearest definition of superstar we've ever had. It's like, do people come to watch you when you're in their city?
Because if you can sell out that arena, then that means everything else that everybody's trying to pick and choose from what a superstar is falls under that.
Yep.
Because I saw a list. It was like, oh, they had a list of superstars in the league, and it was like 15. And that, to me, is never the case.
Yeah.
I personally don't believe it's no more than ever 5 superstars.
Exactly.
And, you know, my number one thing to take them people off that list was, I said, who got a signature shoe? If they don't have one, take them off. Now they're giving everybody a shoe because the league keeps showing me that we not prepared for LeBron James and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant to lead this league.
And that's why I like this tape by Magic, because I think he's recognizing it, right? Like, none of y'all boys are superstars.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's saying. Like, nobody's like, oh, Jason Tatum is coming to Bobcats Arena tonight.
Yeah.
Bobcats Arena.
You old.
What is it? Spectrum Center.
You old as hell. Absolutely. You know, while Boston might, you know, we'll say, oh, Boston is here. They just won a championship.
Yeah.
Let's be there. It might be a sold out arena. You know what I'm saying?
But it's because they Boston fan, not because I got to see Jason Tatum.
You know, and Greek Freak, I wonder, you know what I'm saying? Anthony Edwards, we're going to see if y'all make that next step.
Yeah.
Luka, you standing next to LeBron. LeBron can go to LeBron and Steph Curry for sure can go to any arena and it's going to be a sold out show.
Yeah, I mean, and they're getting older
and they're getting
now.
old. KD ain't even, like, to me, KD ain't doing that. It's
no,
a hit
I
or
mean,
miss.
even like, you know, I mean, even Giannis, right? I can't say this like, oh man, Giannis in town. Let me go watch him tonight. Like, I mean, that might happen to a certain extent. But
I don't know if Giannis can go to DC and it's packed out.
Because I'm coming to see Giannis.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Not Luka, not Joker.
Yeah, it's tough.
Like, I mean, like the league is struggling right now. Yeah. Y'all can argue with us, but I can't really think of any superstar. I can think of really good basketball players, but
some of that is you are great, but that superstar does the stuff. We talking about marketability. We talking about like, yo, you having, I don't want to say just camps, but like people are just following after you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You damn near pop culture at this point. That's what the superstar used to be reserved for. Like certain people, Kobe was pop culture, Shaq was pop culture, AI became pop culture.
You wanted to watch AI, right? AI is the time.
Not even that.
Let's try to get tickets.
Not even that. AI is the off season. AI, the girls would flood the hotel rooms. I remember when Shaq talked about this, and this is a bad example. And Shaq, I don't know why you said this. You keep dragging Shawnee's name in the mud, but I mean, she did come for you. But he used to talk about like what would happen when they would show up to hotels and where the women would be.
Yeah,
I'm telling y'all, I saw what happened with AI. Like, and he wasn't playing. But the nigga was staying across the street at a hotel. He used to come to our hotel and I saw what the women would do.
Yeah.
I saw what the women would do for some of these stars that was just disgusting. When I say disgusting, like, yo, they coming in an hour before the bus arrive and they're sitting in the lobby because they want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying like, it's about what the women are do. It's about your shoes. It's about, yo, I saw what dudes did when Kobe came to the hotel. I ain't never seen that many security guards for one athlete.
Yeah.
And they was all in plain clothes and it got scary. I moved over. RP to him. What you got planned this weekend?
Can't call it.
You got the kiddo?
Yeah, I got the kiddo. So
he gotta take you out for Father's Day.
Yeah, that would be me paying for it. So yeah, it'd probably be me.
It's better. You could just
cooking for him.
Hand him the card, let him put it on the little tab. You was outside this weekend.
A little bit.
See, Mike was outside. I hope y'all ran into Mike.
I was actually working though.
Yeah, it was funny. We took my pops out for Father's Day, me and my sister, and they tried to pod at the table. I was like, yo, I'm not doing this.
What they wanted to talk about?
Women, how women act. You know, it's a lot of I'm trying to dress this up the right way.
We're at the end of the pod. Nobody's here.
Okay,
but the most loyal.
It's about how sometimes we hide stuff from different family because we don't want. Sometimes you don't even want your family in your business.
Oh, absolutely.
And we was getting into like why that happens and how you find out stuff and how you start digging into stuff. And then like you start realizing like your family got issues and you just like, oh, whatever. And then what my sister doesn't like is I have mastered the way of my family don't bring me shit. I told her my cheat code is they think I'm going to mention it on the podcast. So they don't tell me nothing, which is great, but I don't get burdened with certain family topics as well.
Yeah.
You know, if my dad my dad tells me everything. He tell me all y'all niggas business. My mom don't tell me nothing unless it's urgent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But my mom has raised me to a point of like, hey, this is just in these four walls. Like I grew up with that.
Yeah.
So all the shit I get to get off on here, clearly she don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, we try to have that conversation. It was really about family. Like, and then, you know, luckily Mike knows this. My mom only has sisters. My dad only has sisters. So that's why I was talking about women.
Got you.
So, so that's how I was going in. And then I got something to tell y'all. Oh, we at the end of the pod.
Yeah, we did.
Did you hear when BP told them niggas to stop saying amen while he preaching?
No. He said,
if you allow me to play it. It's at the end, Mike.
Let's do it.
This, because it's going to piss you off. Hold on. This is the funniest thing. Some of y'all don't understand why this is funny. And in my life, the life I live currently is so funny that I get to get a joy out of life. Hold on. Somebody is going to hear me doing this and they're going to be so pissed. All right, here we go. Some of y'all like, what the hell is going on? Just give it a second. It's going to get there. See niggas saying amen.
Just a few things for you to what I'm going to say to you. If you could just hold down the amens. I've learned.
You saying it, bro? Where is he at? Is he at the beginning or the end of his message?
No, this is the beginning before he start.
Someone else may say, when they say amen. Amen means I agree, appreciate it. Sometimes amen means something totally different. We're fastly approaching our complicated.
It don't even matter at that point. Let me tell you something. I haven't stopped laughing at that, which is the problem I have with certain church people. Not necessarily. Well, let me take that back. Let me not lie at the end of the podcast. I don't like when we tell people, hey, you can't do this because you're using it. It could be used incorrectly, and you don't tell them the incorrect way it could be used.
Yeah.
So you just lean into their ignorance of not knowing, and now
or the obedience of you got to listen to me. Yeah.
And that's what ignorance and no obedience they go hand in hand, right? And so you saying, hey, amen can mean something different, but I ain't gonna tell you what it could mean.
Yeah.
Even though I know you might 99% of the time you're probably using it, the definition I gave. But you know what? Just in case for the person who's doing it the 1% of the time, you should stop saying
just in case y'all try to tell me to shut up. Like I know what he was trying to say.
Which was?
Y'all try to tell me to shut up. Y'all try to tell me to speed up. And this is something that pastors got to understand, is that sometimes people are telling you to shut up. And sometimes people are telling you to speed up. And it is your job, because when you are a preacher, you are a master of ceremonies.
That is true.
So you are delivering a message, but you are MC as well.
True.
So a lot of y'all this is why y'all terrible preachers. Y'all don't understand that, like, hey, what I'm giving right now isn't getting the response that I wanted to get. I can't just keep dwelling on this
and knocking it in
and hoping that it's going to get the response. You got to be able to pivot, right? So either you got to say, hey, this message tonight is going to be no shouting. Apologies in the beginning, all right?
Now that Mike explained that, I've definitely been in church and niggas have said amen to be like, amen, it's done. You're done.
Yeah, you're done, right?
Mike is like, thank you for giving me the opposite end of that. Now I understand why he said it. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's still funny.
It's still funny, right? Because a lot of times people be like, speed up. Like, yo, you're like, what we not gonna do, bro, is let you talk for an hour 15, right? So a lot of times, especially the choirs are notorious for this.
Oh, the spectral organist?
Yeah, they're notorious for, like, hey, saying it quickly to try to let the preacher understand it, like, hey, you gotta pick up the pace.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
All right. Look, man, I want to see, this is why you have the elder on the pod, another pastor explain why this is happening. Look, man, I want to thank y'all for listening. This is shout out to, I think it's called Million Podcast. We're the number 2 parenting podcast for black dads.
Y'all keep trying to make this a parenting podcast. I keep fighting it.
We gave no parental advice at all today. We gave DDG some
We get that is our dad tip for the week.
We give no parenting advice.
Diddy G, do not go on any pod to get your court case over, bro. Year and a half max.
Hey,
just relax.
And look, I'm not going to correct y'all because it's just free pub for us if y'all think
really
we're a
is.
parenting podcast.
Really is.
And then all the dads come here thinking they finna get some advice and be like, oh, my girl sent me to the wrong place. Or did she, sir? Or
No, did she? Yeah, he might be telling you something.
There you go. And with that, we're going to holler at y'all next time.
Holler at your boy.